When I was little. When I was little, I made a new friend at the beach. I remember it like it happened yesterday. I was wearing a teal-green two-piece bathing suit with little bows on the back of the top and little bows on the bottoms. My long brown hair was wet, hanging down to the middle of my back, and my bangs bounced on my forehead as I ran, my feet slapping the wet brick around the edge of the pool. Sunlight bounced off the water and hit my teeth, reflecting blindly as I laughed and jumped into the pool with my new friend. She was skinny and much tanner than me. I could never tan, and I still can't, but the freckles tried desperately to make up for my lack of melatonin, stretching their faces to the sky, which was as blue as the ocean and reaching forever and ever and seemingly ever into the future. She was skinny, and she wore a tie-dyed one-piece bathing suit. She had long blonde hair. I don't remember her name. We grasped hands and played games around the pool. We invented worlds on the edge of the water, worlds with rules but without regulations, worlds with no night, only day. No rain, only sunlight, no money, only play. Even now, as I think of her, I can feel the sand coating my thighs, stubbornly clinging, unaffected by chlorine stains. When I was little, we always went to the beach in the mornings. Always, I would wake up and my parents would be brewing coffee, and a fresh box of donuts would sit on the counter, open and waiting for me. The house would smell of coffee and sugar glaze and salt water, and when I woke up, the first thing I heard was the waves crashing against the shore. I can smell it now. I can hear it. We would walk down to the beach, and I would dutifully remove my flip-flops, as I had watched my mother do so many times before. And I would tread carefully on the sand, feeling my calves clench up in resistance, and release their tension once I arrived at the water's edge. My toes reached and grasped with the waves, urging me forward. I would always go in, maybe up to my waist, but I was afraid to go any farther. My mom almost drowned when she was little, so my fear is ingrained in my double helices. But the fear just made me love it more, pushed me toward it more insistently, made the splash of my legs cutting through the blue echo more loudly against the coastline. My parents and I always made sandwiches for lunch. We sat out on our balcony and ate them while we played card games or backgammon. The balcony over the beach was a safe zone. I have only happy memories of that space. Laughing, feet curled up under knees, bellies full of bologna and potato chips, sun-kissed skin straining against plastic railing, the constant whoosh of the waves hitting the shore. That was my childhood. When I wasn't so little anymore, I remember going to the beach by myself one night. I sat in the sand on the very edge of the water. I remember thinking I had never seen anything so black in my entire life. So black and vast and empty and full, all at the same time. I remember thinking I had no idea what I was actually looking at, and wondering if someone was there on the other side of the water, looking back at me. I remember wondering if I tossed a bottle into the ocean, first writing a letter and tucking it inside, if it would ever reach someone, anyone, and if that person would write me back. I remember thinking how everything was actually connected, how any sense of separation was just a human invention, and how the ocean was proof of this. Now, I'm all grown up. I live in New York City, and I haven't seen the Gulf of Mexico for more than 2 years. And now I know I'll never see it again. I'll go down there and I'll visit, but the waters of my childhood are gone forever. Even as I write it, I deny it. I tell myself I'm just being dramatic, that I should just stop writing right now, because the oil spill's not really that bad after all, and it will probably be resolved soon, and then it will be nothing more than a black shadow of a memory, a former version of a slick we almost forgot. But the truth is that probably it is that bad. The thing about oil is that we don't know how much of it there is, because the universe buried it underneath miles and miles of dirt and sand and earth, and we can't see where it ends. We found it, and we claimed it as ours, but as usual, we know only the beginning. In the meantime, we just see people and animals stuck in a frozen flail, suspended in space by oil. To the people at British Petroleum and across the entire oil industry who have been charged with repairing this tragedy, Know that you cannot. All the money in the world is useless. Nature doesn't accept our currencies. You cannot repair it, but you can work to stop it. And you have to. Get off your yacht, Tony Hayward. Of course I don't believe that you can fix this horror show, and I don't even believe that you care to, but at least you should pretend. Just imagine now, if I dropped a bottle into the Gulf of Mexico, it wouldn't go very far. It might float out just a few miles before it got trapped in the sludge. And inside, a letter that would never be read. A letter that says, "Hi, my friend from the pool. I don't know if you remember me from all those years ago. I was wearing teal green. I can't remember your name, but I'm glad that we made friends. I hope you get this letter. Love, Megan."